Westfield Memorial Hospital provides high-quality health care to residents of Western New York, offering patients the most sophisticated medical advancements while keeping the ease and familiarity of a community hospital. Support for Chautauqua Sunrise has been provided by WRFA 107.9 FM, Jamestown's public radio station, streaming online 24/7 at WRFALP.com. Low power to the people. Funding is provided by a grant from New York State Senator Catherine M. Young, representing Western New York's 57th District with a local office in Olean. Chautauqua Sunrise is made possible by a grant from Fredonia Place, a continuing care retirement community providing dignity in a modern luxury environment. Serving home cooking, Jack's Barcelona Drive-In, 8249 First Street, Westfield. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner by beautiful Lake Erie in a summer cottage atmosphere with local wines and beers available. Meter's Restaurant, a family tradition for over 50 years in downtown Ripley, is a proud supporter of Chautauqua Sunrise. Meter's provides all-day dining, banquet services, and custom catering, specializing in pie. From the Access Channel 5 studios in Mayville, it's Chautauqua Sunrise. Chautauqua Sunrise is hosted by Doc Hamels and supported by the award-winning volunteers at Access Channel 5. Continuing the traditions of Senior Report, we are here to share local news, colorful interviews, and events of interest to everyone. Chautauqua Sunrise is broadcast live Saturday mornings each week, countywide, from 9 to 10 a.m. Join us by calling in live, emailing us, or checking out our social media. And now, from the Channel 5 studios, it's Chautauqua Sunrise.
Hey everybody, I'm Doc Hamels, and welcome to Chautauqua Sunrise. Wow, what a great week of weather. This is what we dream about all the winter days when we're up to our knees in snow and it's blowing. It's been great. I mean, I know it's gotten a little hot a couple days, but the 75 to 78 degrees, those are my kind of days. It's been great. Could stand a little bit of rain, maybe like at midnight. That would be fine. It's sort of like the Camelot idea, rain only at night. But wow, it's been great. And we want to welcome all of you to our show this morning, especially anybody that's new, and our friends over at Chautauqua Institution. We know that a lot of folks are moving back in for the summer, and we're so glad to have you with us. We got a great show in store for you, and especially if you are residents of Chautauqua Institution. We've got some very important information for you that's going to come up later in the show today. If you are new to the area, or you're just like me, you've been around forever, check out the media and check out what's going on in the area, the region here. There is so much stuff. Like after Memorial Day, Chautauqua County is like blows up with all kinds of activities and festivals, and there's just so much to do around here. I just love it here in the summertime. I love it here year round, but it's just a lot of fun this time of year. So check it out. You can't be bored here unless you want to be bored. Okay. I picked up this fact that they've got this up there on the screen. You can put it back up if you want, Chris. If you have a question for us during the show today, you can give us a call at 753-5225. You can Twitter us, you can email us, check us out on Facebook and so on. From our friends over in Jamestown, it'll be Tuesday at 1 o'clock. When you'll be hearing the show, WRFA 107.9, low power to the people, my buds over there. You can't necessarily see us right now, but you can go to YouTube and check us out and just put Chautauqua Sunrise in. All 100 and zillion shows will pop up for you, and the current ones are all there. So have a look if you want to actually see what we look like. Okay, our guys, my heroes, Jeff Zook and Randy Burt, might be calling in somewhere during the show today. They are doing their annual ride for Roswell. Oh, there's Jeff right now. Looks like he's hanging out at the hotel. They're getting ready. They probably are already on the road by now. It's after 9 o'clock, and I know they have a pretty early start. And so hopefully we'll hear from them and see how they're doing. Last year, I think Randy was on his back after, 2 blocks or something like that. I think he passed out from heat shock. No, I'm just kidding. Randy's a trooper. But it's good weather for them, so we hope that they do well. And they raise a lot of money. I know Gail and Zook, Jeff's brother, I think raised, $4,000 or something like that. And I know Randy was in the hundreds, and Jeff was probably close to $1,000. Okay. By way of just information, one of our underwriters that pops up in the beginning of the show is Jack's Barcelona Drive-In. Had a wonderful evening this past Wednesday. Will Russell, my musical partner, and I played there, and we had a great time. We're going to be there again this coming Wednesday from 6:30 to 8:30. So if you have some time on your hands, you want some great food, and the music is almost as good as the food, and the food is awesome. Give us a chance. Come on down and check us out. They got a beautiful open-air patio there. I've been checking the weather report for Wednesday. It looks like it's going to be really good. And my buddy Jim Scrivens should be playing there as long as it doesn't downpour on Mondays. So music on Mondays and Wednesdays at Jack's Barcelona, one of our supporters here at Chautauqua Sunrise. Okay, we just got a breaking news. We got Randy Burt on the line. And Randy, are you still upright?
Oh, yeah. Hi, Doc. I'm here in Niawanda Park, overlooking Grand Island, and we're about the halfway mark on this 20-mile bike ride for Roswell.
Randy, you've gone 10 miles already?
I think so.
I'm proud of you.
Hey.
You haven't passed out?
I got a stone in my shoe. I got to get out before I finish. But
okay,
forget my little SD card at the motel. I either lost it or something. So I got my camera, but I don't have any way to take any pictures.
Hopefully, Jeff sent some pictures ahead, or we've got some stock pictures, so they're popping them up as you're speaking. So how's the weather up there? Doing good?
Oh, it is fantastic up here. It's not too hot. It's sunny. It's beautiful.
Okay. So is there like 3 or 4 racers with you right now, or what?
Right now, we're like 20 mile, but I'm not sure if the 30 miles mixed in. There's a lot of people here at this rest stop. It's like a bike path that runs along the river.
And how many racers do you think are out there this year? Like several thousand?
They almost had 7,200 last night, so it's going all over the place. They got over 7,200 bike riders.
I can't even imagine that.
It's pretty wild.
I see Galen has his colorful helmet. We showed it a little bit ago here on the.
See the dog there.
Yeah. There it is right now. He's got his helmet. He's got this great big purple plume in there, and his number 180. So.
He's well known with that. Wearing that helmet. Everybody seems to know him or want to talk to him. Or
he's a celebrity.
Oh, he is with that helmet. Just.
Okay.
But so yeah, we had a good time last night. They had the opening ceremony. They changed it a little. They moved the stage into where our start-finish line is. They didn't have it in the stadium, but problem was the sun was right in their face the whole time, so it was sort of hard to watch. But it was really a good time.
Okay. Well, listen, you have a safe ride the rest of it, and if you see Jeff or Galen, you send them our best, and hope they've had a good ride as well. Okay.
Okay, they went the other way, so if I see them, I took a wrong turn somewhere.
Uh-oh. Okay, well, you tell us.
Okay, we'll see you later. Galen's doing 100, so he's going to be done today.
All right.
So, okay, Doc. We'll see you all later.
All right, thanks for doing that. You're my hero. Well, I got a bike yesterday for the first time in years, and I thought, well, maybe I could get prepared for a ride like that. I went half a mile, came back, and I passed out. I don't know how they do these rides. I see these guys. They're right around Lake Chautauqua. I'll say, wow, that was pretty far. That's 40 miles. Oh, they say we do that just to get warmed up. Oh, my gosh. So I guess I got some work to do to get ready. So any of you guys that are bikers out there, well done. Okay, let's get to some news right now. I got a lot of stuff to share with you. I'm going to go as fast as I can, so listen quick. All right, here we go. From July 1st to July 8th, the Mayville Library Summer Book Sale. Okay, this is something that goes on all the time. And this is going to be going on at the same time as the 4th of July parade that we're going to be covering right here at Access 5. The crew is already beginning to put together the plans for that, and I and Gail Erb from Fresh Perspectives, we're going to be your moderators this year and announcers, and so we're so excited about that. So get your money, get your list of things that you want to read this summer, and go check out the Mayville Library Book Sale. Okay, as part of the PGA Tour at, let me see where I am now. Oh, Peak and Peak. Okay, LECOM Health Services has a big challenge for the 2016, and this is they're sponsoring military veterans, first responders, and it's an appreciation day. And there's going to be free admission to the gold tournament for any current military members, veterans, first responders, and spouses. You just got to show them your ID. There will also be a complimentary lunch from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. And it's at the 18th Fairway tent in the upper course. There's free parking and shuttle service to the upper course. You just park at the main lodge. If you want more information, it's at lecomhealthchallenge.com, and this is all taking place July 7th. Okay, let's go to July 9th. Ripley Walk Against Breast Cancer. Okay, registration 7 a.m. Walk starts at 8 a.m. This is all part of the 200-year celebration for Ripley. It's their birthday, their bicentennial. Let's see, there's a Chinese auction to follow, and all the proceeds go to the Circle of Love Dunker Partners for Prevents, Jamestown, and the Regional Cancer Center. For more information, you can call 814-323-0864. And moving right along with the bicentennial, Ripley's bicentennial will be held at the Fireman's Field. There's going to be a Veterans of Valor Memorial dedication at 10 a.m., a parade at 11 a.m., and I'll be the guest narrator for that one from noon to 10 p.m. Games, rides, vendors, and food. You get these little bracelets for the kids, $2 pre-sale, $3 at the door, and you can get the bracelets at the library, the town hall, and the local bank. At 3 p.m. there's a Ripley Youth Wrestling Cornhole Tournament. 9:30 p.m. that evening is a memorial lantern release by the VFW 2769. Classic car show, tractor pull, chicken barbecue, music, and more. 10 p.m. fireworks. For more information, 753-0046. So that's coming up. Lots of good fun. All right. Here's a new one. And it kind of goes in with our show today. A 2016 Chevy Malibu awaits the Westfield Memorial Hospital Foundation Hole-in-One winner at its July 15th golf tournament to be held at Chautauqua Golf Club. This year's Chevy is a Butte Red LS. The MSRP is just about $24,000. That's what its value is. Hoping this year will to have a hole-in-one winner at the. Hang on a minute. Okay, they're hoping to have a winner at the hole-in-one, and according to Patty DePalma, who is the Westfield Memorial Hospital Foundation Executive Director. And you're looking also at David C., who is the new car manager for Westfield Schultz. With a couple of spots still open for a tournament. If you're interested, they're looking for foursomes. Call 793-2338, and you can talk to Mr. Palma all about that. So that's coming up, and I volunteer to sell raffle tickets there, so you can say hi if you check it out. Moving right along for another golf tournament. Boy, golf is popular this year. This is for July 23rd, the third annual WRCL golf tournament. All right, that's for Westfield, Ripley, and Panama and Chautauqua Lake wrestlers. It'll be held July 23rd, Saturday, 4-person scramble, 18-team limit, 18 holes of golf at Pinehurst Golf Course in Westfield. Includes golf court, lunch, prizes, $65 per player. By July 15th, $55. Oh no, that's already gone, so that's passed. The tournament proceeds goes to help those schools wrestlers, and helps them go to camp and various things like trips and equipment. Also, there will be skills competition, Chinese auction, and 50-50. For more information, this is a little tricky, but you can contact Michelle Rowe, also known as the author Michelle Flick, at this email address, mf06 0784@gmail.com. Okay? Moving right along, let's go to Jamestown. The Infinity Performing Arts Center, located in beautiful downtown Jamestown, has a number of creative classes and workshop opportunities beginning in July. July classes include steel drum for beginners. That's for you, Justin. You could make a great steel drummer. Cartooning, find your drum voice. Henna design with paint. Cultural dance and drawing 101. Additionally, Infinity will be offering the following workshops: Kids Zone for students ages 3 to 6, 2 film workshops, and a songwriting workshop. I should go with Addison Moon. My dear friend Addison will be doing that. All right. She's really been getting around the area. I see she's playing in quite a few areas. She was on the show last year. She's an aspiring musician and songwriter, so that'll be great. For information, as always, call 664-0991. Also, Infinity, they want to let you know that they're having a special deal. It's at the Southern Tier Brewing Company, and they're inviting local bands and musicians to register. This is something new for their first annual Top of the Tier Musical Showdown. I don't know what this is, so I'm reading it for the first time. The fundraiser, which is held at the Southern Tier Brewing Company, will take place on Sunday, August 14th from 12 p.m. to 5 p.m. The event attendees will have a chance to vote for acts and choose the top of the tier champion. This is like Battle of the Bands. Interested bands, duos, and solo acts are asked to fill out a short information form and submit a 2 to 3 minute video performance. Registration forms can be obtained by stopping at Infinity. All acts must submit their forms by Saturday, July 30th to be considered in this year's event. No late submissions will be accepted. Okay, and then for more information, call 664-0991, and acts will be limited to 15 minutes. Okay, so and all the rules and regulations are there on their website. Okay, then our annual Bemis Point Library Bicycle Raffle. There it is. We're looking at a beautiful bicycle. Doesn't look like my bicycle, but it's a bicycle. I like that seat. Bike on display at the Hotel Lenhart, and you also can look up here at the screen. Tickets available at the Bemis Point Library or Hotel Lenhart. 1 for $1 or 6 for $5. Drawing will be held Saturday, September 10th. All right, and then wrapping up the announcements here. Infinity also wants you to know that private lessons are available and that they'll be putting on a recital at the Infinity Cafe Thursday, June 30th at 6 p.m. The event is free and is family oriented. They're inviting all local bands to participate in their 13th annual Local Music Showcase, which I've done for years now. And you got till July 1st to check in and sign up. And the schedule will be put out the 15th. So that's a lot of fun. It's a big fundraiser, and there's all kinds of bands all over the place that night on September 10th. Was that what it was, Chris? September 10th? I can't remember. Oh, they haven't set the date yet. Well, it's in September. It's like the second Saturday in September. Okay, also they're having their July installment. Here we go. This is so hard for me to say in the morning. Pulse Poetry Slam. Wow. On Thursday, July 7th at 6 p.m. at the Infinity Arts Cafe. Again, that's family oriented. And finally, they're having a Cultural World Tour Summer Day Camp from July 11th to July 15th for ages 5 to 12. Join us on a whirlwind tour and explore a different culture every day through music, art, dance, theater, language, costume, and more. Well, there you have it. You guys been listening to me. We've got lots of announcements. I'm going to take a break. I got to catch some water. We're going to take a public service announcement, and we'll be right back with my special guest today.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
In my case, it's just go out in the backyard, and there we are. The bears are back this year. We were talking about bears last year at this time. The raccoons are back. wildlife is everywhere up in the hills of Ripley. Okay, today we have Peter Pascale, the administrator for the Westfield Memorial Hospital, is joining us today. And as you saw in the opening credits, the Westfield Memorial Hospital is one of our underwriters and supporters of the show. And Pete, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Doc. It's a pleasure to be here today.
I know you are sort of like fresh in the saddle. I mean, you haven't been in this position too long, so I'll be gentle on you today. I won't ask you too many really hard questions until you get there a little bit longer. So anyways, Pete, how long have you been at Westfield now?
Well, actually, I've been part of the Westfield community for about a year and a half now, originally through the pharmacy department. St. Vincent Pharmacy, converted the pharmacy department at Westfield to employer instead of a contracted pharmacy back in February of 2015. So the planning was a few months before. Actually, enjoyed that experience, and I think that's how I wound up as the administrator. I want to say probably the first week in May.
Okay.
So you know what they say, time flies when you're having fun.
So you got a couple months in the job. Okay. I always like to ask a little bit about my guests because people like to know, well, where do you come from, and that's so. Where do you come from? What's your story?
Grew up on Long Island.
Long
okay,
Island. Long Island.
You
don't say it like they do. They say Long Island. It's like
so I've been out of Long Island for 28 years now. Grew up on Long Island. Went to pharmacy school. Got both my bachelor and master's in pharmacy from St. John's University in New York City.
Oh wow!
And moved to Buffalo in 1988 for a job. And thought it was going to be a short-term kind of thing. Thought it was going to be 3 to 5 years and a stop in my career. Really enjoyed the Buffalo community and wound up that I lived there 20 years.
We're in Buffalo?
I lived in Lancaster.
Okay, because I was born and raised in Buffalo.
Okay, that's great. That's great. Then about 12 years ago, an opportunity came up down in Erie, Pennsylvania. I always said that I wanted to move south as my next step after I moved to Buffalo. So we moved about 100 miles south to Erie, and I've been at St. Vincent since about November of '04.
Wow. So you really kind of been like a great big circle. Oh, great. And so I was thinking about this on the way over. To move through management in the world of education, you have to have so many years of teaching, and then you have to take some courses, and you have to get a degree, and da-da-da-da-da. So do you like when you're young, think about, oh gosh, I want to grow up to be an administrator of a hospital. How's that work?
Well, actually myself, I've resisted moving into hospital administration because I've really enjoyed practicing.
Going to the dark side, as they told me.
Well, I don't know if it's a dark side. It's just a different type of a practice. Okay, being a pharmacist for more than 30 years and working in hospitals for the majority of my career, it's been a lot of fun. Hospital pharmacy, you kind of touch a little bit about everything. Every year I go to the LECOM School of Pharmacy as part of their career enhancement discussions and different opportunities.
Like continuing ed type of thing?
No, it's actually to talk about their careers in pharmacy.
Okay.
So they have people talking about what it is to be a retail pharmacist, what it is to work in a hospital, an industry, and I go in and talk about pharmacy management.
Oh, nice.
What I've always kind of liked about it, what I do is that every day is an adventure. Every day, you don't quite know what you're going to come into because pharmacy is so complex. You know, everything from distribution systems and how we best get meds in a safe and effective way to the floors to making sure that really that med is correct. So, you know, from my perspective, every day I'm not, you know, I go in with a plan of what I'm going to accomplish, but you don't quite know what it is. And it's kind of our motto at St. Vincent in our pharmacy department. Every day is an adventure.
Okay. You mentioned two hospitals. You said Westfield Memorial Hospital and St. Vincent's. Now, maybe can you just give us like a 30-second little spiel? How This is like the Russian nesting dolls. You got Westfield in the middle, and then it's circled by another, and that's circled by another. So can you explain how Westfield is connected to its system that it's in now?
Okay, well, Westfield is an affiliation with St. Vincent.
Okay.
And St. Vincent is our main hospital of the St. Vincent health system.
Right.
And that relationship has been going on close to 20 years in the format that it is. And the focus there is in small rural communities like Westfield, you can't really support all the medical subspecialties.
Right.
So St. Vincent tries to bring some of those subspecialties here to Westfield, as well as making them available within a reasonable drive for the inpatients.
Can you give us some examples of what those specialties would be?
Well, at Westfield here, we do some surgical cases, everything from orthopedics to GYN surgeries, and as well as some general surgery cases, endoscopies, or our scope program, as most people know it. We try to bring them here because we're able to tap into physicians in the community to come up here. If we can't get them to come up here, and we do even run some cardiology clinics here also. We have a wound clinic, so we try to bring as much as we can into the community. That way people don't have to travel.
All right, so Westfield is surrounded by St. Vincent's, but now there's another layer that goes around St. Vincent's.
Absolutely. St. Vincent's is part of the Allegheny Health Network, which is a 7-hospital system based out of Pittsburgh. And our parent organization of the Allegheny Health Network, if you really even want to go another circle around that, would be the Highmark Health Corporation.
Wow. So it's Westfield is really surrounded by a lot of good stuff.
And you know something, the support is there all the way through, and it's a consistent message. Just like the specialty hospitals in Pittsburgh support St. Vincent, so we don't always have to recruit a medical subspecialty. We'll have physicians come up, or patients can be referred to them in Pittsburgh. It's the same type of relationship as what St. Vincent then has with Westfield.
Great. So there's lots of resources for the people here in Chautauqua County.
Absolutely.
And you heard me mention a little bit ago, welcome to the folks at Chautauqua Institution, because they're back in residence, because they're summer residents. I know, if I remember right, Westfield Memorial Hospital has a presence there. Can you tell?
Absolutely.
What is that?
We have a medical clinic out at the Chautauqua Institute, and we're excited because it's going to be opening on Monday, and we will have it will have its staff with a physician assistant Monday through Friday.
What's that person's name?
Dave Trissel, I believe it is.
Okay.
And Dave has been there before. Knows the community.
So people know who he is. So he's a familiar face.
Absolutely, absolutely. So we're excited because we provide some services there, and if the situation requires even more care than what Dave can provide there. And just to let others in the community know, Dave works full-time in our emergency department.
All right.
So his primary practice is in emergency medicine.
So he's been there and done it. Yeah.
Been there, done it. So if he sees that patient needs more care than just what he can provide in the clinic there, he will make the arrangements to get them to Westfield Hospital.
I find people by nature are hesitant to go to a clinic because it'll get better, or don't bother, I'm on vacation, blah 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 blah. That's really not a way to go. It can ruin your whole vacation. So what are the things that you think that people would come to the clinic for at the institution? Let's start there.
Well, I think any types of cuts and bruises and sprains and things of that nature. We're in some of our prime pollen times of
we
year
were talking
here
about
right
that.
now.
I took my allergy medicine this morning.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I'm kind of fighting some allergies myself today, so if I sound a little nasally, I apologize for that. But
can't help that.
You have those types of things, and then a lot of people there. You're dealing with different populations, everything from young folks to mature older folks, and sometimes you're just not feeling right. Maybe you're a little bit dehydrated because of the sun and
especially
and the heat.
there's a lot of walking, a lot of hills.
Sure. Absolutely. Get yourself over to see Dave in the clinic, and he'll take a look at you and either patch you up and send you back, or if he feels that we need to bring you into Westfield Hospital, he will.
Okay, and the question might arise: I'm assuming they take all insurances and things of that nature.
We do. We take the majority of the insurances. This is not a new thing for us. I don't even know how long we've been providing this care at the Chautauqua Institute, but from what I hear, it's been for a very, very long period.
Now, if I remember right, it's on Roberts Street?
I'm not 100% sure. I've been there once. I'm definitely going out there again this week to see Dave and see how we're doing. And I know my...
But the locals should know, right, where the
absolutely.
clinic is. So
they'll find it.
If anybody is new there, they can say, where's the clinic? And they'll point you right to it. I think it's Roberts, but I can't remember myself. Okay, so then if somebody is let's say having a serious medical episode of some sort, I find that's medical terms, an episode, then they could call an ambulance or whatever.
Yep.
The Chautauqua firemen there are awesome people, and they'll transport if necessary to Westfield. And then, as you said, if the situation is more dire, then we move from there.
There's a lot of neat stuff going on at Westfield. One of the great things is that we do have that emergency department. But about 6 months ago, the organization got a ruling from the New York State Department of Health that basically said, we will be open forever. We've got a 4-bed institution that was approved, and that we can take inpatients, we can take observation patients, and I think in the past, over the last 10 years, with the Berger Commission and the attempt to right-size healthcare in New York State, Westfield was slated to be closed, and the community of Westfield really rallied around its hospital.
Absolutely.
And from board members to community leaders, spoke the case for Westfield. And that was a 2-step process. The first step was to keep it going for a while. The second step was what was going to be the ultimate fate of Westfield Hospital. And my predecessor, Patty Ballman, and her predecessor, Karen Circala, really did tremendous work to work with the community and make sure that this community maintained its hospital. So we have a 4-bed hospital. It doesn't sound like much, but when you need to be observed overnight, the last thing you want to be done is come to Westfield Hospital and then have to be shipped 30 or 40 miles to the next hospital. So the ability to stay there overnight for observation, some more tests, things of that nature, I think is a real benefit to the community.
So we will once again officially dispel the myth, the urban myth, that Westfield Hospital is closing. And it's here to stay forever and ever, as long as they follow all the laws and rules of the land.
Absolutely.
Okay, my team is always good about this. So while we were talking, the clinic at the Chautauqua Institution is at 21 Roberts Avenue, near the amphitheater. Okay, and the phone number there, 357-3209. So Chris, thank you for researching that. My team is awesome here, aren't they?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Okay, so there was something that we talked about earlier, and the word was infusion. And I understand that this is more prevalent than most people even realize. And I think this is important for people at Chautauqua Institution, people in the community. They don't necessarily know about this. So what is an infusion center?
An infusion center is a part of the hospital that basically can provide IV medications, whether they're an injection that you can't give to yourself, or an IV infusion medication, whether it's an antibiotic, maybe something for osteoporosis, maybe it's a hydration solution, a blood transfusion, something of that nature, where you need to be observed in a medical facility. We've been doing some infusions at Westfield for years, but we've decided this year to try to expand our program, not try to, actually to expand our program, and we can provide some more infusions to the patients of Westfield. And from that perspective, again, another scenario where you don't have to go to another city to get these things.
Okay, I'm way out of my league on this one, but this isn't chemo.
No, this is not chemotherapy.
It's not dialysis.
It's not dialysis.
It's kind of a lower level kind of thing?
Antibiotics.
Okay.
You know, there's a lot of different medications now that, you know, patients are on it chronically for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, sometimes once a month for the rest of their lives. And it's those types of things that they can come into the hospital, spend an hour or two to have that medication infused, or they need an injection, they can come in and get that.
So I've known people over the years when they do travel plans that they try to make sure that there's a hospital so that as they move about the country or whatever, they can have a place that they can get this service, right?
Absolutely, and we have several patients already scheduled for different types of infusions through the Chautauqua Clinic this summer.
Wow, that didn't take long at all. All right, so let's just say someone that's watching right now says, okay, I am a summer resident or coming in from Ohio and I have a cottage and we're here like a month a year. How do I set up an infusion situation here?
You need to basically contact us at Westfield.
Okay.
And they'll get you in touch with the scheduler, and the scheduler will probably reach out to the supervisor over that area, who's Kathy Petrov, who's our nursing manager.
Okay.
And she will evaluate whether we can do that here.
All right.
And if she can, she'll make arrangements to schedule the patient.
Super. We have a phone call. Would you like to take a call?
I guess we're going to have to take a call.
I always ask because you say, well, no, I don't want to take a call. Good morning, caller.
Good morning. This is Linda Spalding.
Hey, good morning, Linda.
It's great to see your guest on the show. I want to tell you how much I appreciate Westfield Hospital still being there.
Why?
Well, because, for one thing, without that facility, I can tell you there would have been a lot of complications in my family and with myself. It's
Sure.
a wonderful center. And I was very determined to keep the facility here in our community because it's much needed, and so were a lot of other people. So was Doug. He even did some advocacy on film, and
Excellent.
of course Karen Harvey and Roy did a lot too.
Did you hear what Pete was saying, that New York State has awarded the hospital a certificate of need to infinity, forever and ever?
No, I missed that. That's wonderful.
Did I say that right, Pete?
I think so, Doc.
Well, before, sometimes they give you like a 5-year certificate of operation, and they deem the hospital good to go forever. So the Burger Commission, bye-bye, all that stuff's gone. They're here to stay. We're here to stay. So that's awesome.
A lot of times they make those rulings and they just have no perspective or realization of what's really happening in communities.
Well, I don't understand why not. They're only 350 miles away, and they've never been here. I would think they have a pretty good idea of what's going on.
Yeah, how could they make a determination like that?
They do all the time. I don't care what the field is, whether it's education or hospitals or schools, what colleges. It's pretty incredible to me that they still do that sort of thing. So, anyways, what's going on in your world, Lynn?
Well, it's going to be a hot weekend.
Woo-hoo, 90 on Sunday, I hear.
Yeah. So we can take it easy tomorrow, I guess.
Drink a lot of water.
And of course, the institution this is the opening day. Well, officially tomorrow for the 3 taps of the gavel. And there are things going on with the Chautauqua County Office for the Aging.
Okay.
And we have our computer training in Westfield, Brockton, and also we're looking at going back to our Dunkirk site. We have job openings. We're recruiting people. And my word to businesses is that we have some great people to send to you.
Great. Linda, if you could say one word about Westfield Memorial Hospital, what would it be?
One word.
Yeah.
Vital.
Good word. I like that. Vital. Okay. So you got family coming up this weekend, or are you barbecuing, or anything like that?
Family is coming. Yes.
Da-da-da.
I think possibly, well, for the 4th.
Okay, so getting ready.
Getting ready. It's going to be wonderful. All the way from Phoenix, Arizona.
Okay. Hey, let me ask you a question. You're local at the institution, right?
Yes.
How's the clinic down there? Is it pretty cool? The Westfield Memorial Hospital Clinic?
Oh yeah, people really appreciate it. It's well used.
Okay, there you have
it. It's a great it's a great thing to have here because it saves people a lot of time and they can just walk over for services.
No, I did not prompt Lynn on this. I didn't call you ahead of time, so thank you for that unsolicited support. Okay, well listen, thanks for calling as always, and keep listening to the show, okay?
Okay, have a great weekend.
Okay, thank you, Lynn. Hey folks, you're still watching Chautauqua Sunrise. My guest today is Pete Pascale. He's the administrator for Westfield Memorial Hospital. We're talking about various services and things that are on the horizon at the hospital. If you wish to call, just like Lynn did, give us a call at 753-5225, or you can Twitter us, and all the information pops up as I'm talking. And but don't be shy, because this is a really cool subject. So we talked about infusions. We talked about the support system around the hospital. What about, you mentioned something called a scope clinic. What's that all about?
Well, for prevention of colon cancer and other GI cancers, it's recommended to have different scopes at different points for your medical care, and we provide that at Westfield Hospital,
and also at St. Vincent's.
And at St. Vincent's.
You still have that little telltale.
I know. I'm sorry. Well, I still work at both places.
You work for.
So we have docs that provide that right in town here, and I think it's a real valuable service. I think, though, what I'd like to try to talk about now for a few minutes is, we're talking at this point, Chautauqua Clinic and sending patients to the emergency room, and I really want to talk about something that I think is truly exciting here.
Okay, I'm ready.
That's the renovation of our emergency department. At this point, we are ready to start the kickoff of the renovation, which will happen after Chautauqua season.
Okay.
So we're not going to see a lot of the benefits right now of our renovation because it's going to happen afterwards.
So that would be just like having road work right in the middle of the summer.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it makes sense. Kind of wait till it calms down a little bit.
We've done that, and what's really exciting is that our foundation, the Westfield Memorial Hospital Foundation, has pledged $500,000 to the renovation.
That's $500,000.
$500,000.
Whoa.
And enough cannot be said from my office, from the system level, of what a tremendous commitment is, and the balance of what we need to do that project, because it is going to be more than that, is going to be coming out of some grants that we've already received approval for.
But the important thing that I always like to remind my viewers and listeners, that $500,000 comes from all of you, me, all of us. Whether it's if you're out there golfing, or if you're putting in a pledge every year through the big promotion that they have every year. So $500,000 coming out of the community.
Absolutely.
To support. That says a lot about the hospital, doesn't it?
Absolutely. And what I really want to talk about, two more things regarding that. First is our campaign slogan, which is the RED campaign, which is renovate our emergency department.
Oh, renovate ED.
Yep, renovate our emergency department.
Cool.
So you're going to be hearing and seeing a lot about that over the next couple of weeks with the 4th of July parade and with the golf tournament, and we really would appreciate all of the support of the community at this point on that.
Well, you be sure to send me updates on that so we can share that with the folks here, okay?
Absolutely. And actually what I brought today was a storyboard of the renovation and some of the changes that we're going to be making.
All right.
And at this point I'd like to just maybe walk us through some of those.
All right, Justin, why don't you hit it on that, and then for our now watch your microphone wire.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Justin, let's hit that. And for those listening on the radio, I'm going to try to describe this as we go along as well. Okay, take it away.
All right. The project highlights are that we're going to be redesigning the waiting rooms for the patients. Normally, when somebody comes into our emergency department, they're coming into a single emergency department waiting room, and they'll still come in there, but we're going to be putting them into an area which we're calling our split flow, which is an area where basically we're going to be doing our triage for the patients.
And what's triage?
Well, we're going to be coming in, we're going to be checking their temperature, doing their vital signs, things of that nature, and quickly assessing the patient for what type of care they're going to be.
Okay.
All right, if they come in and they need a diagnostic test, or their doctor is waiting for something, and it's something minor, maybe they're waiting for an X-ray result or something of that nature. What we're going to do is we're going to take them from one of what we're calling these split bays, our split area bays, okay? Instead of putting them back out in the emergency department waiting room, we're going to put them right into their own little waiting room.
So once you're in the emergency admissions, you move to the next step, as opposed to bouncing back like they often do.
If it's something that's minor that you just need to then go see the provider or the doc, the D-doc or the PA there, you're going to be put into this little waiting room. Real big advantage over having to put them back in the other waiting room with everybody else.
Doesn't that just bug the heck out of you when that happens to you? It's like, well, am I in or am I out? So, okay.
Absolutely, and from a patient perspective, they're seeing progress in their care. So they should be happier there. Now, if you need something that's going to take more intense review of your care, you're then going to go into the emergency department, and we're going to have 5 new rooms. Okay, one of them is going to be our trauma room, which hopefully we will not have to use very much, but you're in a car accident, and we have special equipment in there to stabilize you, to get you to the next level. So this is
more than just a typical room that somebody might find themselves in. This would
absolutely
some real specialized. Okay.
All right, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4 more treatment rooms for patients, and all of the rooms are going to be completely brand new.
Now, how does that differ from today?
Today we have them, but actually, some of the rooms are smaller, and this will give us a little more spacious rooms to be able to
So you're moving walls, you're moving flow of patients?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. So if we looked at some of the pictures, okay, this is going to be our initial waiting room. So when I said that you're first going to come in, you'll be going to the waiting room. And
so for those on the radio, it looks like you're going to put maybe carpeting and some soft lights and some new furniture. Looks very modern and sleek. Okay.
Yep, absolutely. And then we bring you into the split flow, which again, a lot of hospitals for many years have been using a process called fast tracking. All right, but somebody's got to triage that person and say where they're going first. In a small rural emergency department, we're not going to have 2 separate departments. So this area where we have 2 little patient bays, we're calling them, because they're truly not rooms, or where all this initial assessment is going to happen.
So what I see is a doctor looking at x-rays right then and there.
Yep.
A nurse maybe doing something, some lab work or working on a computer, and they can see right into those triage rooms, and the staff is right there, so you're not sitting there by yourself saying, well, what's going to happen next or whatever. And I'm assuming there's curtains there perhaps that gives you privacy. Looks very, very modern, and that, as you say, that's different than today though, right?
That's different than today, because today if you come in, you're going to wind up in one of the rooms, or if you're waiting for a test or whatever, you may wind up back out in the waiting room to be called back in.
Okay.
If all the treatment rooms are already full, you'll be put back out there.
So that's the way they did business for years, but so you're taking it to a more futuristic, more modern procedure. Okay.
Absolutely.
Now, here's a question I have: is who came up with this idea? I mean, why did who tells you to do it this way? Is this research based or?
This is research based. My predecessor, Patty Ballman, worked with our emergency department physicians to come up with this new design to move it towards that. The other thing is the patients.
Their feedback?
Their feedback, okay. Last thing you want to do on a nice summer weekend or a nice summer evening is to spend, 3, 4, 5 hours in an emergency department.
And you hear that from people sometimes. Not about Westfield. I hear that from other hospitals.
Absolutely. And what our goal is really to try to reduce the amount of time that patients have to be there. And again, if they can go into that split flow area and fast track them right out, I think that we're going to see some more improved patient satisfaction.
Now you have one more picture, number 3, and what
absolutely.
Tell us about that.
This is the schematic of the trauma room.
Okay, so for the folks that are listening, it looks like a very large room to me with all kinds of cabinets and some computer screens, and I don't even know what the other stuff is, but I mean it looks like a lot of stuff there.
And again, this would be for our most seriously injured patients. Okay. And we'll also use that as an overflow room for medical patients that we need to provide care
so
to.
multi-purpose kind of a thing.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We don't want to be seeing a lot of patients that
Please don't.
that need that there.
Okay, so the ER doctors had input, and the nurses, I'm assuming. So who put the whole plan together? I mean, is this an engineering group or somebody that has specialty in this area?
Absolutely. Worked with the architect firm, the Boswick architect firm out of Erie, which has done a lot of work for the St. Vincent Health System.
Okay, so these guys have done this, and they really know how to put together a good flow of this. So are you expanding the hospital, or is this?
We're actually keeping the same exact footprint, but we're just redesigning it. We're reutilizing some of the space.
So this is sort of like when my wife says in the springtime it's time to move the furniture. So you're redoing the furniture, the walls, you're stretching things within the 4 walls, it sounds like.
A little bit more than just moving the furniture, Doc. It's more when she says we want to take down a wall here and put up another room there. But it's all within the existing space.
So you said you're going to do this after the summertime. So if I come in there and I go, I don't know, I cut myself, so is this going to be like total chaos, or how's this going to work?
Anytime you do a construction project, you have to have a contingency plan of how you're going to be caring for the patients. We're going to be using our post-surgical unit for some of the minor things during the construction. The construction will actually go through either 3 or 4 different phases. The less phases, the better, from my experience, but the less phases that you have, sometimes you may be having to close 2 or 3 rooms at a time, and then it becomes a flow of patient that we have to figure out what is best for us.
Okay, so you got a plan to still keep the place open. People are still going to be flowing in there, so it might be a little different than they're used to for now. But when it's all done, and what's the end game?
The goal is by next Chautauqua season.
Oh wow!
To have it completed.
So September through like June type thing.
That's what I'm thinking. It's going to be somewhere around 6 to 8 months, and that's with
fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. But I think it'll be a real benefit to the community to have this.
Okay, a question popped up here. Are there other rooms that are not being used in the hospital right now? And what is the original bed capacity? Maybe you don't know that. I don't know.
Well, I'm not 100% on the original bed capacity. I think it was somewhere between 35 and 40.
Okay.
All right, because we used to have a GYN, OB-GYN unit there. We actually used to have 2 inpatient units. One of those units was converted to clinic space, and that's where our docs we rent out we rent out that space to physicians that come to the hospital to see patients there.
So a lot of the space has been repurposed. There's a sleep lab, I guess, and
Yes.
things like that. Well, I don't want to tell all the stuff. I don't know all this stuff, but there's other purposes there, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. We do some nutritional counseling through a dietitian. We have our wound clinic. We have cardiologists coming up one day a week. We've got orthopedic surgeon, Dr. Fitzgerald, sees patients there as well as doing procedures.
So you have to have space for
Yep,
them to do
absolutely.
something. Yeah,
Same thing
yeah.
with our GYN surgeon. Okay, we have a new GYN
Let's talk
surgeon.
about that because many of the women in my life are very concerned about the fact that GYN services have been sort of absent, not recently because we had Dr. Jane, but Dr. Jane has moved to New York City, I believe. So do we have that service still?
Yes, we do. And actually, I believe it was Dr. Talek who reached out to us and said that he had a replacement for Dr. Jane, so there will be no interruption in service. The new doc's name is Dr. Shrestha, I believe, and I hope that I'm pronouncing it correct. I have not yet met him. He just started at Westfield. This week was his first week. But he can provide, he's not only going to be providing clinic, but he's also going to be doing surgeries.
Wonderful. And of course, they have the equipment for the mammograms and
Yep.
all for women's health?
Yep, absolutely. You know, we have a pretty comprehensive radiology and imaging center, and excited. We've got a new leader in that area, Chris Graziano. She joined us a couple of months back. Some new equipment there. We have a new CAT scan that was put in last fall. Really brings us into state of the art, and a lot of the things that people worry about, you know, the DEXA scan, which is the measurement of your bone density, necessary for us monitoring all people, but especially women for osteoporosis and things of that nature.
We've only got less than 3 minutes left. You mentioned wound clinic. I don't think people are familiar with a wound clinic is.
Well, you know, as people age, we have, I think, chances for greater wound injuries. Okay, everything from pressure sores to just open wounds that just don't heal.
Okay.
All right.
From diabetes, that type of thing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Chronic conditions. And we provide a 1-day-a-week wound clinic for people to come to Westfield so they don't have to go to another facility.
So this is treatment?
It is they see the patient and they do some treatment in there.
Make recommendations
Yep.
and prescriptions, things.
Yep.
Okay. Hey, Pascale, you've been my guest this morning from Westfield Memorial Hospital. You were the administrator there. How about tell us in the next minute and a half any of the new services or anything that's coming down the line that you really want to let people know that's pretty exciting or anything like that?
Well, Doc, I think we covered pretty much everything that we're doing at this point. I did have the opportunity in June to go out to the primary care offices, meet with the docs, meet with the staff there to see what types of other needs the community has. And while I can't promise that I'm going to be able to get all of those needs, those specialists to come to Westfield, I'm going to try to work on coming up with some ways that we can at least maybe streamline or get them access to that care.
Great. Question in the last minute or so. Somebody gets sick, they're sitting in their house, they call the fire department and says, they come and say, you got to, I'm sick, and they say, you got to be taken to the hospital. They say, where would you like to be taken? Is it patient choice where they go, or when the doctor says you need surgery, is it always patient choice?
It's a combination of things. The first thing is how acutely ill is the patient, and depending upon how acutely ill, if they truly need to be brought to the closest hospital, or if there is a special, if you were in a car accident and you're severe trauma, you need to go to a trauma hospital.
Okay.
All right, but if you're just going in with that, yes, then it does become choice.
So you can say, I want to go to Westfield Memorial Hospital.
Absolutely. You could say you want to go to Westfield Memorial Hospital.
Okay. Pete, we've run out of time. But if people want to check out more information, there's a Facebook site, I believe, and it's I believe it's Westfield Memorial Hospital, according to my research, and it's Westfield Emergency, I think is the name to it. Folks, you've been watching Chautauqua Sunrise. My guest today has been Pete Pascale, the administrator of Westfield Memorial Hospital. If you ever have more questions, give them a call at the hospital, and we'll see you again next week. Pete, thanks so much for coming on the show.
You're welcome, Doc.
And those in Jamestown, you can go to the hospital there too if you choose to. So, good morning to the folks at Chautauqua Institution and to all our friends in Jamestown. Tuesdays at 1 o'clock. We're going to see you all next time right here at Access 5. You take care.